won't tear the gold if you move them.
Yeah. So if you go like that and move water, you make an enormous mistake. That's just more delicate, really. And also, that's real pressure. So that if it is just right, if there's no water there, it really pushes the gold against, whereas brushing is rather too delicate for the real contact. So you can see how fat that is, still got water in. So you just keep going like that, but just have an eye on that, and then you just stop it when it's dry, and then let's just say those dry already. I tap down like that, and then I brush. Which way would I brush?
With it's overlapping, you'll brush the way that it's...
So you brush first from the latest to the earliest. So the overlap's like that. Yeah, otherwise you'll lift off that.
So where you've got a section of like that, it's almost like a frame, and you've got a straight edge. I've seen some people put tape along the edge to get a sharp edge of the gold rather than scraping it off.
This edge here?
Yeah.
You could, yeah, I suppose so, yeah. Be more sensible.
Is there a special tape though, or is it just marking?
It's got to be a low tack. In fact, what Mary's has done here, I found some old low tack masking film, I think it's called.
Right.
So you could use that.
Yeah.
But masking tapes do vary a lot depending on the masking capability. There's somewhat more expensive ones which are probably worth getting.
Right.
Yeah. And a lot of them, the longer you leave, the more tacky, sticky they are. So remember to pull it off immediately. It's done its job.
But wouldn't it be a risk that the gold would stick to the tape, and then when you pull it off, you might...
I think if you brush hard enough,
yeah,
then that would really adhere it.
yeah.
And also the way you pull it. If you just pull it like that, it's pulling up vertically. If you pull it away, then it's more like a tearing rather than a...
Yeah.
And because of the thickness of it, you've got a very clear line, so you could actually just run a tool along
That's true.
Yeah.
afterwards with a ruler and then pull it.
Yeah.
Or did you engrave a line?
Actually, not line, but I did kind of remove the...
Yeah, so what you should always do before you put your bowl on, just scratch the line.
Yeah, that's what I
accurately.
done, yeah.
And it doesn't show up
No.
initially when you just put your bowl or just add it, but it will show up when you burnish. Otherwise, you're just guessing where the outline is.
Yeah.
So if you haven't done it,
No, I
inscribed line.
just kind of deeply removed the bowl.
but it may not show up there. So when you burnish it, it may not show up. So it's better to just before you. I mean, you always do the high point first. So I'd go right round the frame, and if you sort of concentrate just on that, probably by the time you got to the end, it'll be ready to burnish. You may, depending how fast you go, you may have to stop there and burnish. But so do the high point, burnish, and then you could do this, scratch. But whatever you do before you do that, scratch it.
Yeah.
And that as well.
And you would, what is this? Is it tape?
It's this masking film.
Oh, it's a masking. Oh, yeah. But you would, when you have an angel like that, you would do an outline, etching the outline all
Always,
around it.
Yeah. Make sure that your edge line is a little bit in rather than out, so that you can always take a bit of gold off. But if it's too far out, if the face gets too fat, you can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
So this one is right now, I think. So well, you'd normally keep going like this, wouldn't be chatting halfway, but you'd keep going. So just sometimes you get little bubbles like that. They're going to be there always, and probably just air. So you're right there. Just a gentle push down. So push harder and harder as you're more confident there's no water there. Don't mistake a bit of overlap gold which isn't touching as a bubble. So you're going to